Hi everybody, it's Simplicity Games here, and I am back with another speed build for you. How do I want to start this? This is the second time I'm recording this audio. I think that I will explain what I'm doing first, and then I will go on to other exciting things that are coming up. So first of all, I'm building in Brindleton Bay, which is the new world from Cats and Dogs, if you haven't played it. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous world. It's quite countryside-y, but it's quite beachy as well, but it's not, you know, beachy. It's not like a coastal town you would find in a hot area. It's definitely like, you know, you'd expect it to be a bit drizzly sometimes. So yeah, I'm building in Brindleton Bay. It's quite a big build. It's a, from memory, I think it's a 4-bedroom house, but it's got quite a big kitchen, and it's got 2 living rooms, a dining room, yeah, and then 4 bedrooms upstairs. I think that's everything. I think it's a 3-bathroom, possibly. Oh, and I put in preparation for the laundry day stuff pack that's coming out next year, I made a little like mess room coming off the kitchen. So when the stuff pack comes out with washing machines and things, you can put your washing machines and your dryers into that room, which I am so happy with. Personally, I wasn't one of those people who was like buzzing about being able to wash clothes, because I found that really annoying in Sims 3, but at the same time I do like an extra sense of realism, because I think Sims 4 can be a little bit unrealistic. I mean, there's only so much they can do, but yeah, there's so much I would like to add to Sims 4, but you know, can't really do that at this stage in the game, so I've just got to cross my fingers and hope that it's in Sims 5. So yeah, this house, it's inspired by one that I visited recently in Watford, which is west of London. If you're not from the UK, or maybe you just don't know, it's really, really expensive to live in London. Of course, most of the jobs in the country, well, that's an exaggeration, but there are a lot of jobs in London. So people clearly want to live near there, but it's so expensive to live in London. Like, it's ridiculous. You could, for what you could be paying rent in London for like a 1-bed, not even a bed, like a studio flat, you could be renting a full family house elsewhere in the country. It's absurd, and I'm not quite sure how and why it's been allowed to get this ridiculous, but it has. So a lot of people live on the outskirts of London because it's cheaper, and then they commute in. So yeah, we visited somebody who lives in Watford, which is west of London, and I mean, it's still very expensive to live around London compared to where I'm from, which is further up north. And her house was gorgeous. Sorry for saying so many times, by the way. Yeah, so her house was really, really nice. It was 5-bedroom, I think, 4 or 5 bed. Quite a big garden, had a pool, you know, all that kind of jazz. So it's a very expensive house still, but it's lovely. So once I got home, I decided to build this. And it's quite countryside-y, but it's still contemporary, which is my preferred aesthetic for houses. Like, I love all like Georgian houses and Edwardian houses in the UK, but I like quite a contemporary, not modern interior, but you know, it's new furniture and all that kind of thing. So yeah, that's what I'm building here. I used just the white paint and some new siding that we got with Cats and Dogs, because I was going to use a horizontal one, but the colour of the wood didn't quite match the doors and windows I was using, and yeah, I couldn't be having that. So I faffed around a little bit with this patio area for quite a while. Yeah, it just I wasn't feeling it for quite a bit, but yeah, I decided to go simple and just stick some columns in. I also want to say that this video is or this build rather, is a two-parter, because this build took me 6.5 hours. I did it over 3 nights, so it didn't feel like it was taking that long, but I have 6.5 hours worth of footage, which is a bit ridiculous. And when I was editing it together, because whilst I really like long videos, I don't want them to be absolutely huge, because then people will drop off and get bored, blah blah. So I decided to cut it down into 2 videos, because even with it, like, if I was going to speed it up my normal amount, which is 6 times I think, 6 or 7 times, then the video was, it was over an hour, maybe an hour 10 minutes, which is insane. So I didn't do that, and I didn't want to speed it up too quickly because I was getting motion sick watching it, and I don't get motion sick. So yeah, it's in 2 videos. Really sorry if you don't like two-parters. I personally like two-parters when I'm watching other people's builds, because to me it's, you know, it's more content that I get to watch, but I understand if some people don't want to watch both parts. So in the first part we've got the building of everything and the interior, and some of the decorating, and the second part there's the rest of the decorating and the landscaping. So I think the second video won't be quite as long as this one, but yeah, I hope you don't mind. Of course there's not many of you at this point, so it's not like people are going to be yelling at me or anything, but yeah, at this point in time I'm kind of just making videos because I enjoy doing it, and because it gives me an excuse to play more Sims. Not that I really need one, but yeah. I mean, like, I'll be at uni, and I'll be like watching people's like Let's Plays and things, and even Planet Coaster videos, and I'll just be sitting there working thinking, I just want to go home and play games. Like, I do not want to be here. Even though my university course is literally, because it's an animation course, I literally just have to sit and draw. Like, life is so hard for me. That front door, I don't know why I've paused here, but I have. That front door is actually supposed to go on a like the second wall height, but I didn't want the walls to be that tall, so I just, you know, stuck it in and then changed the walls back down to the normal height. The door does work because I play tested it. So moving on from the build temporarily, whilst you see me just adding in lots of clutter. Oh, this house is expensive. Like, last time I checked, I think it's like 170, 180,000. And it's not like, it's quite a big house, but it's not the biggest. I mean, it's only a 30 by 30 lot or something. It's not that big. But it's quite expensive just because I put a lot of stuff in there and use quite nice furniture. Moving on to some exciting things. You may have heard me, if you've watched some of my previous videos, you may have heard me complain about my computer because it's not good. It was just like, because just before I started uni, my other computer just broke completely, and I needed a new one, but I didn't have loads of cash, so I just spent like 400 quid on one from Amazon, and it, you know, it did the job, like it played games and stuff, but if I wanted to like record actual gameplay, it did not, like, it was super juddery, and it just couldn't handle it basically, and it also could not play Planet Coaster, which was the main thing. Because Planet Coaster is one of my all-time favourite games. So whenever I wanted to play that, I had to use my boyfriend's computer, which was really sad. But now I have bought a new PC and I'm so happy with it. Oh god, because I worked so hard over the summer. Minimum wage, which for my age, because I was only 20 at the time, it was £5.60 an hour, which is diabolical. I know in the US you don't have the same minimum wage across all of your states, which I find a bit odd. But in the UK we just have like a blanket minimum wage, and there's a very big jump between age groups. Like now that I'm 21, minimum wage for me is £7 an hour. But yeah, during the summer when I was only 20, it was £5.60. So I was working 36-hour weeks, full time at a restaurant, and earning basically no money after, you know, travel fees and paying my bills and paying for food and all that kind of thing. So even though I worked my arse off over the summer, I could not afford to buy myself a new computer. But I have been saving, and I've had some help from my birthday, because I had my 21st birthday, so I've been very lucky, and I was given some help, and I was able to buy a new computer, and I love it. It's amazing. If you're in the UK, I think there actually might be a US version as well, but I use the website Cyberpower, and you essentially give them, like, I mean, you can build it yourself if you know what you need, but I just emailed them and I said, okay, I need this, I need this, I need this, I want to be able to play this game, make a computer for me. And they just built it all, sent me the specs, I paid for it online, and it was so good. Got sent to me like in a week of me ordering. This is not sponsored, by the way. Not sponsored at all, but I would quite happily take a sponsorship. Throwing that out there. So yeah, new computer is amazing. I've got the NVIDIA GTX 1060 video graphics card thing, or I feel so bad because I still don't know anything about computers. But I've got this quite nice one. Yeah, so I've got a really good graphics card, I've got a much better processor and motherboard and stuff, so I can actually play things and record things and my computer doesn't die. So I'm so happy about that. And it also means I can now make Let's Plays and Planet Coaster videos, which will be coming in the new year. I'm planning on doing the Not So Berry Challenge, of course, because who isn't doing the Not So Berry Challenge? I did a creative sim yesterday, don't know if I like it, so I might redo it, but it is recorded. I need to build a house. I'm really excited. I'm just hoping that I'm going to be entertaining enough, so I'm not sure about that. And I will be making Planet Coaster videos. You may know about me, but I love Planet Coaster videos. Since Planet Coaster is one of my favourite games. It's definitely a game that you have to be in a specific mood for, because it's very time consuming. Because basically you build everything out of tiny pieces and it takes a very long time to do anything, but I really enjoy it. So yes, you will be getting some Planet Coaster videos, I hope. The thing with Planet Coaster is because it takes so long to do anything, you'll spend maybe like 10 hours on a park, and in that 10 hours you've made an entrance building and started a few bits, and then after that you will get a whole new idea for a whole new park, and then you'll start another one. And because it takes so long to build anything, like your skill level in building is improving as you go. So you know, you'll get to a certain point in your park and then look back at the very first thing and it's horrible. So you'll just want to redo it all. So that's kind of the trap that I fall into quite a lot. But I've been working on a park the last couple of weeks, using the new scenario editor, and it's added so much into the game. I didn't know it was possible to add that much into the game, but it has. If you play Planet Coaster, then you'll know that, or if you've played it recently, you can change like the spawn point of your guests. So I've made like a park and ride section, and yeah, this game's so much harder recently because they've introduced like needs for the staff. So rather than the staff just standing in their shop serving everybody for hours and hours, they actually get tired and stuff, and they're so much harder to manage. Yeah, so they've been a bit of a nightmare, but it's really good, like, because it adds an extra level of depth to the game, which was needed. Not quite sure why I took such a long gap there, but I was probably stopping to cook dinner or something. I'm terrible with forgetting to like pause my recording, because I used to record art videos, and for me, when I'm painting, I like to do most of the painting in the evening and on my computer, and then the next morning I'll do the finishing touches, because you know, you can see it with fresh eyes and see what's wrong and blah blah blah. So many times I would forget to pause the recording overnight, and I have a bad habit of leaving my computer on overnight, so the recording would stay running and I'd have like 12 hours of footage, and it was awful, and so lagged my computer so much. So I tried to not do that now, but occasionally I forget about it for an hour or two. It's not been too bad though. Oh, can I point out a niggle that I have with cats and dogs? I'm one of those people where I would pay money for them to implement creator style in Sims 4. How much would I pay for it? I'd probably pay £30. So like the cost of an expansion pack, I would give them that much for them to put creator style into Sims 4. Because we need it. In Cats and Dogs, like the new doors and the new interior doors, so the single ones, and that bookshelf you can see on the screen now, those ones have a really lovely like tan, kind of golden tan texture on them, like wood texture, and it's lovely because it's got a lot of detail in it. But for some reason they haven't used that texture on all of the wooden things. Like, even though it's on one of the doors, they haven't put it on all of the doors. That drives me insane. Like, why would you do that to us? Because I really want to use those interior doors, but I can't stand it when my doors do not match to like windows and exterior doors and things. So I can't use it, and it's really upsetting because it's the nicest swatch that we have. EA, why do you do this to us? Seriously. And why am I not doing anything in the video? Oh guys, this kitchen. I love this kitchen. If I had like the chance to build my own dream home, I would have a fireplace in every single room of the house. Every single one. Like bathroom, bedroom, living room, dining room, kitchen. Just give me all of the fireplaces, please. So in this house, I put a fireplace into 3 of the rooms. So both living rooms and the kitchen have a fireplace, and I love it. I think it's gorgeous. It adds, like, when I was going around doing the screenshots, I had my sim light all of the fireplaces, and it looks so nice. It looks so homely. So I really, really like that. I'm just really happy with this kitchen because I did quite a lot to it. At least I think I did. I'm probably going to watch this and think, oh god, that's a mess. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I did quite a lot to this kitchen. What I would do though for some ovens that don't have that weird sticky up bit at the back. I just want some ovens that we can like put into islands and they don't look weird. So I had to cover it up with like this plant thing because it drives me mad. Oh guys, so much if you haven't bought cats and dogs and you have enough money to buy just one expansion pack, get cats and dogs. Seriously, it's the best one that they've made for The Sims 4. It's better than City Living. Don't really care much for City Living. Don't really care much for any of the others apart from cats and dogs. Like, they're really good still, but I mean, obviously you get to have pets in this one, but the build stuff is really, really nice, and it's quite versatile, and it fits very, very well with the parenthood stuff. Because they didn't release any new counters in cats and dogs, but I think it's alright because they go so well with, like, the decor goes so well with the parenthood counters. So they got away with that. It's obviously something that they planned from the start, but yeah, they did a really good job on this. And I'm loving the ability to size down objects. It's one of those things where you never knew how much you needed it until you had it. Because I'm just sizing down everything. I've got an idea for a video, which is a bit of a silly one. And I haven't seen it so far, which means it might not be something worth doing. But yeah, I've had an idea for a video, so I'm probably gonna do that after Christmas because I'm going on holiday this Christmas. I'm going to Norway, which I'm very excited about. Me and my boyfriend, because we didn't go away together this summer, we decided to go away to Norway this Christmas for 8 days, and it's absolutely freezing there. God, because I've been looking at the weather for the area that we're going to be in, and it's down to -10 degrees Celsius. I'm going to do a quick conversion to see how much that is in Fahrenheit. How do you spell Fahrenheit? I have no idea. So that's 14 degrees Fahrenheit, which doesn't sound cold to me, but it probably will to you guys. So -10's freezing. It's below freezing. We're probably gonna die. But we really, really wanted snow this Christmas, because in the UK you don't really get guaranteed snow at Christmas, even though it's quite like a cold and, you know, drizzly country. We don't really get snow. Although, having said that, it's snowing across the UK pretty much apart from where I live, which is so sad, because I'm currently living in the south of England when I'm at university, and back home, which is about 4.5 hours north of here, it's snowing, and I'm really, really jealous because we never normally get snow. We get a little bit, but not that much. But I'm watching everybody's Instagram stories, and there's like a good 5 inches of snow. Yeah, about 5 inches. It's ridiculous, and it's raining here. I'm looking outside and it's raining, and it's disgusting. Oh, so I've got, how long have I got? About 8 minutes left? What do I tell you? Because I've got a story. Can it be told in 8 minutes though? Maybe. We'll see. When I got up this morning, I rang my mum on FaceTime and I told her the whole thing, and using my usual dramatics, which probably won't come across here in this video. But essentially, so my boyfriend works early on Sunday, so he has to leave the house at 7 AM on Sundays. So we tend to go to bed a little bit earlier, so he definitely has some sleep and he's not too tired for work. But at 5 o'clock this morning, an hour before we're supposed to be getting up, 5 o'clock, because I live in some flats, it's like a building of about 12 flats, and there's there's buzzers outside the front door, because you need a key to get into the building and then a key to get into your flat. So yeah, the buzzer was going off at 5 in the morning, and it went off about 3 times. It's really, really loud, and I could hear in the other flats their buzzers going off as well. So I got up and I was like, look, because we have peepholes, right, which I love. I used to have a bit of a fear of peepholes because of, I think it was the film Drag Me to Hell or something, where somebody gets stabbed in the eye looking through a peephole, which is, oh, it's awful. But now I love it because it means I can be really nosy and see what's going on outside. So yeah, I was looking out the peephole and the buzzer kept going off. And somebody in one of the flats let them in. And these two guys, I can see them coming upstairs, and they are drunk. They are absolutely slaughtered. They're falling over each other, and one of them's trying to take his jacket off and he can't get it off. So they go upstairs to the top level, and I would assume that they were trying to get into their own flat. They come back down and they're knocking on everybody's doors and trying the handles, because I mean, I would assume that if they couldn't get into the building that they didn't have their keys, which would then mean that they couldn't get into their flat. So they were trying, in their drunken state, they were trying to get everybody else's doors. Maybe they thought that somebody was going to let them in. Maybe they thought that they'd got the wrong flat to start with. Who knows? So they were trying everybody's flats and banging on the doors. And I was watching them in the hallway for a bit. And then they kind of stumbled back downstairs and got themselves locked out again. So they started ringing the buzzer again at 5 in the morning. I mean, I was wide awake by this point, but I was exhausted. So they just kept ringing the buzzer. And I mean, they were so drunk and they were so disruptive. And it was one of those things where if we had just left them to it, besides it was chucking it down at this point, it was raining really badly. If we'd just left them to it, they probably would have kept ringing the buzzer for the next God knows how long. So it would have been really, really annoying. So we called the police. That sounds a bit... it sounds a bit much. But in that situation, it's not like you can go down there yourself and confront them, because, I mean, they're drunk. You don't know if they do have, a knife on them, like a penknife, or you don't know if they're just gonna, throw a punch because you've pissed them off, or, whatever. Especially, little old me, I'm quite a weak person. I don't have any strength at all. And these two guys were kind of about my age, but they're taller, blah, 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 I didn't want to tackle that on my own. So, yeah, you don't want to, confront people on your own that are really drunk. So we just called the police and we're like, there's some people in our building and they're being really disruptive. Can you send somebody to sort them out? And I assume they did. They never, came in to talk to us or anything, but... all the banging stopped and they didn't get back in the building, and we saw a police car pull up, so all got sorted. But yeah, that was my little story. I do have another story about when we had to call the police, but I think that's one for another time because it's slightly longer to tell, and it's funny. Well, it's not funny, but it's funny. Yeah. Oh, we're getting close to the end of the video, finally. I realise I haven't really spoken much about the build. But yeah, I think at this point I was kind of struggling with is this a master bedroom? I think it is. Yeah, it's a master bedroom. It ended up looking kind of old-fashioned, but I figured that was okay because the woman or the couple who lives here, I would imagine that they're adults, going on to elders. So, yep, used a lot of the new cats and dogs furniture. I've put in one of the vanities. Do you call them that? Vanities? I just call them a dressing table. So I've put one of those in from Vintage Glamour, and I'm gonna be honest, the dressing table's the only reason I bought Vintage Glamour. I held off on buying that stuff pack. Is it a stuff pack or a game pack? I held off on buying it for so long because it didn't really interest me, but then I got some money for my birthday and I just thought, meh, I'm gonna buy everything basically. I still don't have vampires though. I don't really want it, honestly. I hate playing with supernaturals, like I really dislike it, but at the same time the build buy items look really useful. So it's one of those things where I want to buy it for the build buy stuff, but I really don't want the supernaturals in my game. So yeah, probably won't ever get that because they drive me mad. Yep. I think I'm going to sign this off here and leave you with the screenshots. So I hope you really enjoyed the video. Do subscribe if you want to. I would really be happy with that. So yeah, subscribe if you want to see more videos, and like it if you like this video. Let me know down below how you feel about two-parter videos, and also if you've got any ideas for like other challenges that I can do, like the not so berry challenge. If you have any ideas that are quite, in depth, then please do comment them down below because I'd really be interested in doing them. So that's all from me today. I hope you guys have a great week, and I hope you have a really good Christmas if I don't speak to you before then. So have a good one, everybody, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!